On the 4th of September in the year 1797, a significant coup d'etat occurred within the French Republic, led by the military commander François Rabin. May 11th, 1798, coup d'etat in the French Republic, the law of Second Florian. That means November 9th, 1799, coup d'etat in the French Republic. Napoleon Bonaparte comes to power. December 2nd, 1851, constitutional coup d'etat in the French Republic. Napoleon Bonaparte stays in power just a few months before the end of his term, even though the Constitution of the Second Republic formally forbade it. May 13th, 1958, coup d'etat in the French Republic. General de Gaulle returns to power. History doesn't lie. History doesn't lie, unless we let liars tell it. Even before Burkina Faso accepted independence, the French Republic had already experienced 6 coups d'etat. So understand that we are in version 2.2. Just consider that at the end of 2023, in the ranking of the 10 greatest Frenchmen of all time, and surprised in second place, Napoleon Bonaparte, the putschist. In this version 2.2, when it's them, they're saviors. And when it's us, we're putschists. When it's them, they throw flowers. And when it's us, they impose sanctions. When it's them, it's the red carpet, the greatest man of all time. And when it's us, they get furious, and like chameleons, they change their colors. When it's them, democracy means letting the people choose. And finally, when it's us that the people choose, they say the people chose wrong. Democracy is free choice, and dictatorship is when something is imposed. But when democracy is imposed on us, isn't that also dictatorship? So yes, we do have a choice, but it's a choice between 2 dictatorships. The one hidden within the laws and the one that exposes the hidden laws. Don't confuse freedom with so-called libertinism. Don't ask a prostitute for marriage advice. They have double standards, malice and scheming. We can't choose between the two. They make our own scales for us. They practice the politics of the sorcerer, frightened to capture the soul. But when you try to capture a stallion, you should at least think better than a donkey. That's why they have... When they're the ones forming unions, there's no problem. But when we're the ones making an alliance, suddenly there's an issue. Yet the union of husband and wife is indeed the alliance that serves as both proof and symbol. That's why when we refuse, we say no. That's good, but it's not enough. In the realm of communities, when you refuse, you leave. And if those who leave are 2 or 3, well, it's those who stay who are in danger. They are happy and we are content. But when it's us, they can't stand it. For them, our riflemen died in battle. But when we are attacked, they do not speak out. Because they can't stand your smile, the joy of life in your children. They can't stand your future. As long as they don't see blood, they can't stand your peace. And your development bothers them. They do everything to get rid of you. They turn your dream life into a nightmare. So, are they friends or are they enemies? From now on, when facing enemies, we keep our hands firm. But you also need to look among your enemies for those who train them. That's why, from now on, we are determined to continue the struggle we are leading, to choose our own destiny. Because if you risk finding them, by finding them, you are taking a risk. And so you risk succeeding. By freeing this country from the colonial legacy, you also risk succeeding against the predictions of the pessimists. You risk building a proud and free Burkina. You risk finishing the job. What Sankara would have done if he had been allowed to live. In the end, we are here to make a choice. And I choose to take the risk. For the homeland, the family, the nation, and the struggle. I choose to take the risk. And make no mistake, we are a free people. But do not confuse freedom with so-called libertinism. Don't ask a prostitute for marriage advice. We are the alliance, the proof, and the emblem of what they call union. Thank you.
Wow. Greetings and welcome everyone, family, brothers and sisters. African leaders have arrived in Addis, Ethiopia for the African Union Summit. Among of the new face that will be there is the president of Guinea Conakry, Mamadou Doumbouya. Mamadou Doumbouya has been invited to attend the African Union Summit after Guinea had presidential election last year, and Doumbouya being elected as a new president of Guinea. President Traoré, Goita, Abdurrahman will not be there. But one thing that has shocked me is that African Union has invited the UN Secretary Antonio Guterres to come and speak at the African Union Summit. But African Union are not invited or bringing leaders such as Traoré. One thing that I understand that we Africans, black people, we admire so much white people. We love white people. We cannot conduct our affairs without white people. And this is what's happening. So who is better? To have Traoré in the summit or to have Antonio Guterres in the summit? I think it is better to have Traoré, to have Assimi Goita, to have Abdurrahman than to having Antonio Guterres. Antonio Guterres, yes, is a UN secretary, chief secretary, or UN leader, but Traoré is our own. Goita is our own. Abdurrahman is our own. When we discuss things facing Africans, we need to have people who are living in Africa. We cannot discuss issues facing our mother continent without having Africans who are responsible. You know, sometimes I wonder, Africans, we think maybe by inviting Antonio Guterres, Africa will have a permanent seat in the UN Security Council. Let me tell you, no one will give a divided Africa a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. America will not allow Africa to have a permanent seat with veto power at the UN Security Council. So Africans, let us trust ourselves. Let us love ourselves. It is a shame thing to see that we abandoned Traoré, we abandoned Goita, Tiani, then we invite Antonio Guterres and other white men. We love white men than we love ourselves. And we think we cannot conduct any successful meeting without white people. That's the problem of Africa. Africa, we need to change. We need to change the way we think. It is paining. It is paining. So, family, we will share what will happen in Addis, but all in all, many things will be as usual, because I don't see commitment among African leaders. They are talking about reforms, but are we serious? We want reforms? African leaders talking about demanding permanent seats at the UN Security Council. Who will give us a permanent seat at the UN Security Council while we are divided. I think the time is now for we Africans to come together, to unite, and to speak with one voice. So family, please share with me your views, your thoughts, and your ideas. What can we do as Africans to change these stories? It doesn't make sense that we invite other people. We left our own people. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.